Hello everyone. In today's video we will be talking about the half and the whole. First we will begin by explaining what each of these is. We will begin with the whole. We're going to try and explain what the whole is. What do we mean when we say I have one whole? Well, I can say for example that I have one whole apple right here. There we go. This is one whole apple. Now, if I take this apple and I cut it into two pieces and I make it so that those two pieces are equal, then I will have cut it in half. Okay, so let's do an example of that. I'm not going to take just a small piece of it because then look, this piece that is much smaller than this. They're not the same, so I didn't cut it in half here. I need the piece that I'm going to take, I need it to be the same as what's left. So if I cut it right about here, I'm going to cut this apple in half. And you can see now that, oh, I cut it into two pieces that are, well, let's say they're the same, okay? So each of these pieces is a half of the apple. Okay, this is a half of an apple, and this is a half of an apple. Okay, that's great, but how do numbers come into this? Like, how do I take the half of a number? Do I just cut it in half as well and take one piece of it like this? All right. Do I just take a piece of it and leave the other? No, that's not what I do. Well, see, the thing is, instead of taking the half of a thing like we did before, where we took the half of an apple, we can also take the half of a group. So, for example, here you can see a class of kids. Now, let's say that this class of kids wants to play a game of some sorts. That means that they have to be separated into two equal teams, right? So what we're going to do here is move them up a little bit, and then we're going to separate them into teams. So one player here, one player there, one player here, one player there, one here, one here, and so on. I just keep separating them until we have two equal teams. So what I just did, and as you can see here, the teams are equal now. They both have the same number of players. This team has 6 players, and this team also has 6 players. So they're equal. What I did basically was I separated that class in half. So each team is a half of the class. Okay, this is one half of the class, and this is the other half of the class, together making the whole class. So before we changed anything, this was the whole class. Okay, this is the whole. And now after I separated them, as you can see here, you can see the two halves. This is one half, and this is the other half. Well, let's look at it like this. How many kids were in the entire class? There were 12. So the whole class is 12 kids. Half the class is how many kids? Look here on this team. How many kids are in one half of the class? There are 6 kids. So half the class is 6. So basically, what I could say is that 6 is the half of 12. 6 is the half of 12. Let's explain that a little more. How we find the half of a number. So, let's say that I have here, let's make it colorful. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 marbles. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to separate them. I'm going to put, this is the whole group of marbles, and I'm going to separate them into 2 equal parts. Okay, 2 equal halves. I'm going to separate them in halves. How am I going to do that? I'm going to place 1 half here and 1 half here. So let's start doing that. I'm going to be making 1 here and 1 here, and then I'm going to be erasing them from up here because I moved them in here, right? So I just made 2, so I'm going to erase 1, 2. Then I'm going to make another 2, 1, 2, another 2. Okay, so in the beginning, there were 16 marbles, right? That's how many there were before I split them up. Now, how many marbles are in this part of the box? There are 8. And in this part of the box, there are another 8. Each of these is a half of 16. 1 half and another half. 16 is the whole. This was the entire group before I separated them. Now this is 1 half. And this is another half. Each of these is a half of the whole of 16. Now you might be thinking, okay, but do I need to do this every single time? Do I need to draw the box and the dots and erase the dots? Well, no, not necessarily. You don't have to. In the beginning, it can help if you need it, but no, you do not have to. How you can think about this is as follows. Okay, so what do we have here? What did we basically say here? We had 16 and we separated it into 2 equal parts. So 8 and 8. 8 plus 8. It's basically what we said, that 16 is equal to 8 plus 8. But be careful. This is how I find the half. I can't say, for example, 16 is equal to 10 and 6. Why? Because 10 and 6 are not the same, whereas 8 and 8 are the same. 10 and 6 are not. So I need to find a number that I add to itself and it gives me the whole. So let's say, for example, that I want to find the half of the number 10. Okay, what number do I add to itself and it gives me 10? Is it 1? No, because 1 and 1 makes 2. Is it 2? No, because 2 and 2 makes 4. Is it 3? No, because 3 and 3 makes 6. Is it 4? No, because 4 and 4 makes 8. Is it 5? Yes, it is 5, because 5 plus 5 gives me 10. So I would say that 5 is the half of 10. Another example is the following. Let's say I want to find the half of the number 8. Okay? Now, what number do I add to itself and it gives me 8? We just said it, but again, if you don't remember, you can start again from the beginning. Is it 1? No, because 1 and 1 makes 2. Is it 2? No, because 2 and 2 makes 4. Is it 3? No, because 3 and 3 makes 6. Is it 4? Yes, because 4 and 4 makes 8. So I can say that 4 is the half of 8. And that's how I find the half of a number. Now, what if I know the half, but I don't know the whole? So let me give you an example of that. Let's say that in here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dots. Okay, so I know that here there are 9 dots. And my problem, let's say that there's a problem that's been given to me, tells me that this is 1/2 of a whole. And I want to find that whole. I don't know what the whole is. I don't know how many marbles there were altogether. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, how would I find that? How would I have to think? Well, here's what I should think. It's that since this is 1/2, meaning that there are 9 dots in here, there have to be another 9 dots on the other side of the box. Okay, because remember, the halves need to be the same. Whatever's on this side also needs to be on this side. So if there are 9 here, there also has to be another 9 here. So if 9 is 1/2, then 9 is the other half. So what is the whole? Well, the whole is what I get if I add these two together. So 9 plus 9. And if you remember, 9 plus 9 makes 18. So the whole is 18. And that's how we work with halves and wholes. So tomorrow we will be doing some more exercises together. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.